resilience is a concept that I work a lot with, both in terms of my research and in terms of my practice. Resilience really, I think about it as positive adaptation in the context of adversity or in the context of some type of risk. The notion of being able to bounce back from a negative life event, or being able to thrive in the context of adverse circumstances or difficulties. So resilience is contextualized. One isn't just resilient in their character. Resilience is in relationship to a set of circumstances or conditions or stressors or challenges. So when I think about resilience, I think about sort of three processes that help to maintain resilience. I talk about them in terms of being the three A's: allies, awareness, and action. And those are sort of the kind of terms that I think people can resonate with, that help to understand what are the pillars that need to be built in order to live in a resilient way, right? To be able to adapt positively when stuff happens, when stress occurs, when the unexpected occurs, when trauma occurs. So the pillars that help to sustain a resilient way of being in the world, again, allies, awareness, and action. Right? So when I think about allies, think about communal processes, staying connected. So part of what maintains resilience is connectedness, right? Allies are not just people, but allies can be places, organizations, anything that can help us reconnect, right, to what's meaningful in our lives, reconnect to ourselves and what's important in terms of our values, or connect to others. So this notion of internal allies, our values, what's meaningful to us, as well as external allies, relationships, connection to organizations or places, or but that notion of connection and allies, that's a necessary component of resilience. And then awareness, right? So being able to recognize how one is feeling, right? Whether it be at the somatic level, cognitively, emotionally, we are at risk of not being able to be resilient in negative situations when we cut ourselves off from our feelings, our thoughts, our experiences. Then we don't have the data to respond to the stress in the world. So it is our, physiological sensations that give us data that we're stressed and we need to respond, right? It's our thoughts and feelings that give us data of how we're understanding a situation, or is this making me sad or angry? And that data is what helps us make decisions to respond in a situation. So awareness, engaging people in contemplative processes to increase their ability to stay connected to themselves and to others, and to observe, what's going on with me. Right? That's a big piece of resilience, just being able to observe and identify what is going on with me. Right? So part of the ability to positively adapt in the context of stress, adversity, is the first two I mentioned, awareness and allies, And then that third part, that third pillar is action, right? So making a choice, being intentional, taking the awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, body, etc., building on the relationships to inform action, to inform now what am I going to do in this situation? How am I going to manage this situation? The important thing about the action pillar, or this notion of empowerment processes or action processes, is that the first two have to come first, right? So when I'm working with people to build resilience, it's not, we don't start with what am I going to do, right? We start with building connectedness and building awareness. And then it's from that knowledge, from what comes out of that, those resources that one creates, establishing resources, strengthening internal resources, establishing external resources. It's from there that then one has the ingredients necessary to decide, and what am I going to do? How am I going to handle this? Right? Something is strengthened internally through the awareness and allies processes, or through other terms are contemplative and communal processes. And then we move to, and what am I going to do? So these three pillars really are what sustains a way of being in the world that I would characterize as resilient. Right? Having connectedness, awareness, and intentional action that's informed by our connectedness and awareness.